still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
That was really well done.
Right?
I think you got the lyrics the first time. Well,
No.
that's the first time you've gotten them correct.
Well, it's
But I
good.
didn't have your mic on, so that kind of bumps me out because I didn't hear your voice. But you were just lip syncing anyways.
No, I think that. I think that part.
I
The
don't
one,
think
just the one line.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, it's good. You're deaf.
You made it up.
It's all
I
like
am deaf.
tinnitus.
Tinnitus. Did find out, right? That's a
Not
word for the
tinnitus.
day. It's not tinnitus. It's tinnitus.
Yes.
At least to English speakers before
Europeans.
America.
We got new shirts again.
Here's our shirts.
It bites me not.
Yes. I think they
like it.
saw that if they're watching it live.
That's what I
We
said.
do have shirts. Or was it just your excuse to show your breasts?
I mean, it wasn't. That's weird.
Oh, it worked out.
No, right?
Worked out for all of us.
You can't. All right, that's weird. It's awkward now.
Welcome to Awkward Land.
Seriously.
Well, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hopefully you're in the chat. I do see at least Keith's in there. So,
Bailey just sent a picture. It's
Of?
awesome.
of what?
Where's your phone?
In my pocket? Because, I'm staying engaged.
Ridiculous. Get
Staying
your phone
engaged.
out. We engage with everyone all the time. But first,
Oh, here's a nerd.
hi, Urel, in the chat.
Yes,
Hi,
hello.
Keith in the chat.
So, here's a cool thing. That's a great one.
I know, it's a good picture.
So I'll cover my picture. Here we go.
I just did mine.
See if you can see it.
I think mine's better.
What?
Either way, you blurred
Okay.
both sides,
Yeah,
which is funny.
I don't know how. I
There
did
you
that.
go.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Somebody else got a shirt. So that's going to be something we're going to talk about real quick. Thanks to Urel,
Yes. She
who is
made these.
in the chat.
Yes.
So we are wearing the ones that she made. We did a test one of these shirts through Amazon just to see if the layout worked out well. But we wanted them done properly
Yes.
and by a person that just makes cool stuff.
Makes great
Yeah.
stuff.
Been working with her a little bit on some other projects when it comes to another podcast, PK and DK show.
Yes.
So we
But
definitely.
first,
Oh, what?
we gotta take a shot.
Oh, but first.
But first,
That's
I'm
called
gonna
a
take
breach.
selfie.
We just call it a breach.
Sure.
But first.
Happy Friday. We've done it again, people. We've done it again. Salud.
Slancheva. And we are there. I'll never be able to do that.
I'm drinking kombucha.
I'm drinking beer.
All right, now you can continue.
Oh, I'll flip over my paper. So,
All right,
we go
we have to start. I'm Sarah.
and I am not. I am Scooter. This is Sarah across from me.
It's a good start.
See how that works? And then you go, now that's Scooter across from me.
Yeah.
You're supposed to introduce. Have you ever not seen like a rock concert? Like everybody introduces other people in the band. They don't
Well,
introduce
it's too late.
themselves.
I already said me.
I mean,
I
we're
can't go
too,
back.
we're too punk rock. All right,
All right.
to not act like punk rock.
Yes.
Well, welcome. Yes, that's us. We do have to do a little. I'm gonna say, realistically, tonight's episode, or whatever, we're on 18, something like that, on the live show.
Sure.
We've been doing this for a couple of years. I think this is our 18th live episode,
Okay.
18.5, because we did a shout out episode. But I'm enjoying it. But also as our sponsor, we have, I'm going to put it this way. Elever Consulting looks like it's going to be our sponsor from here on out. So check out Elever Consulting. we're going to talk about that human being here shortly also, I'm sure, in all the things that we've done over this last week, why we had a week off. There's a reason, and that's one of the reasons. No, it's been 2 weeks. That's 14 days.
But when you said, I thought you meant like a week off of like life.
No, week off from here. Like
I got
we're
you.
trying to stay relevant to like
I got you.
people don't
Now.
the people don't see us every day.
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
That's right.
Unless they're a part of my echo up
Right.
there.
You don't know.
But Lever Consulting, check them out, leverconsulting.com. Good stuff when it comes to just getting your stuff together. If you want to learn life skills, you want to learn like real life skills, like how to make sure you balance checkbooks and how to get into college, how to take a course. If you're not, like, she's very swamped. Lever Consulting is very swamped right now.
Yes. Which is good.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very busy because a lot of kids are going to college. So she has a lot of contracts right now.
Which is awesome.
But she's never too busy for you or chatting with us. So, and I'm going to say, I wanted to add this little tidbit.
Okay.
I want to say this is sponsored also by Yaya's Embroidery,
Yes.
because the quality of responsiveness, the quality of product, the quality of person behind it. I mean, I've never met this person in real life. But all I know is the product comes out amazing.
Yes.
Always does the right thing, no matter what happens. It's just the pricing is a little. Should I say it loud? Yeah, it's very, very reasonable,
Yes.
people. So if you want to check it out, Yaya's Embroidery. It's on Instagram.
Yes.
That's how I get a hold of Urel there in the chat.
She's
So,
great. She really is.
just
so
the
good.
products come out stellar.
Yes.
No corners cut,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
Agreed.
So check that out. So I have to say that because we did get some extra shirts. Just because she wanted to. I don't even know why. I mean, maybe you could tell us why. You gave us a couple extra shirts, but we did send out a couple shirts to when we had that questionnaire.
The friends question.
The trivia question.
Yeah.
About friends. So Bailey does happen to be my daughter. So that is a little bit of a one up on knowing what would be going on in my brain.
True.
But she does have a
Rigged.
shirt on. So a little rigged. True. All right. So that's us. That's what we're doing. That's our sponsor. And
Good thing.
on to the next.
Yeah.
So we're here.
How many good things do you have?
400 because we've been gone for a week. So
I just wrote the week as one thing. Okay, so I'll
The
do mine
one.
and then you can do the one big one.
okay, you have more than the big one?
Yeah.
The big
So
one.
our son has been in summer school. So the way they do summer school here is also like, it's ridiculous. It's like participation trophy status. So they basically have to go 10 days, and 10 days covers a semester. Legit. If they pass 10 days of summer school, it counts for passing a class for a whole semester. Psychotic. Anyways, so we passed.
There's that might become my rant. Butts in seats is better than actually educating a
Right.
kid.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So anyways, he got a C+, and that was really exciting because that's probably one of the best grades he's had in the last 2 years. So that was really awesome. He passed the first session. 2 more to go. Work-wise, we've been training, like we're taking on I think we're at 4 people for this next training session, maybe 5, which is pretty cool. And then we signed a new contract for work, and so we get new stuff starting in
More
9
work.
days. Yeah, more
You
work.
get more work.
More work. That's awesome, though. That's exciting.
And I was like, you always, how do you put it? More work is always, I know it sounds, if you're an hourly employee, more work is like the worst thing you can hear.
Right.
But if you work for yourself, hearing more work just means, oh my gosh, I can pay my employees.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we can
We can stay in
pay
business.
rent. We can pay,
Right.
keep our cell
We
phones on.
exist.
We can still produce what we do.
Yes.
And so that's been a big deal. And for Sarah to get excited.
More than
is
just saying,
just-
I'm excited.
See, that's a bigger, sometimes she goes, Yeah, I'm
That's cool.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's cool.
excited. She'll say that. She's like, "Oh, that sounds good." And I was like, "That's her excited." So this is
I'm like nervous excited,
like
but
this is
like
pop and
excited.
top.
Yeah. Because I just don't know what it's going to bring. But I mean, that's every new contract is like, you think you know, and then you get into it and you're like, all right, that's a little twist there.
I mean, that's a great thing because
Yeah.
I mean, in the chat there's a Urel saying, "I like supporting small businesses," and us too. That's what we do. We do that the best that we can.
Yes.
The less that I have to buy off of from Jeff Bezos,
Yeah.
the better. Now, do I buy from Jeff? Yes, a lot.
Yes.
We buy.
Convenience.
Yeah, I mean, we even sell stuff on Amazon. I mean, so it is a not necessary evil, but it's a necessary convenience out
mean, it
there.
really
It
is.
really, really is.
Yeah.
I mean, so if I can get a microphone sent to me the next day,
Right.
or order from the manufacturer and it takes like a week and a half,
Right.
and you get it through Amazon and it's $40 cheaper.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to be like,
I mean, and that just happened like this last week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I saved $40 by buying it off of Amazon instead of buying it from the manufacturer.
Yeah. The manufacturer's not
is
really
weird.
a small business anymore. They're
No, but
kinda big.
but it depends. It really depends. But you know, I always want to buy it from the person instead of, you know, going that back and forth.
Just saw the face I made. It was weird.
What?
My
Why-
ear itched, and then I saw my face, and it looked weird. Anyways,
Well, that's why you don't look at.
it's
I mean,
too late. I already looked.
you're always looking at the camera instead of. I mean, looking at the
The replay instead of
the
looking at the camera.
replay or what they see on camera instead of actually the camera.
Anyways, it was a weird face. It's gone now. Let's talk
But
about
your
Washington.
face is still there.
Let's talk about Washington.
Oh, so that's the next good thing.
Yeah.
So we promote on this show to show up in real life.
Yes.
So sometimes we will have different episodes that might be on a different day of the week. Why? Not because we're busy, but yes, not busy, but we're doing something in real life. Like when we postpone or do an early episode or a Saturday episode or a Thursday episode or whatever, it's because we're showing up in real life on the Friday
Yes.
for someone, somewhere, somehow. So the reason we were not here doing the live broadcast, which we might change in the future, we have some plans to do stuff on the road.
Yes.
We do, thanks to Rode.
Road.
Freaky, but thanks to Rode, the
Pun
brand,
intended.
we're going to get some products from Rode, which we won a contest with them. So we're going to get some products that we can take on the road with Rode.
All right, it's a lot of roads. Continue. I was buzzed
So
you.
long story long.
Yeah.
We went to the Pacific Northwest, up in the Seattle let's call it the greater Seattle area,
Yes.
because some of it was in Seattle, some of it was south of Seattle, some of it was north of Seattle, but the greater Seattle area. Yes. We saw so many human beings.
I think everyone we knew. No, almost everyone we knew in the area we saw.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot more people in the area,
everyone
but
I knew in the area
but
we
I
saw.
don't keep in touch with them.
Yeah.
The people that we know collectively,
We missed some people. But yes, we saw a lot.
who do we miss?
We missed like nieces and nephews,
Well, I mean,
sister.
nieces, nephews,
We missed the sister.
respond to a text.
That's true. That is on them.
There's some people, they knew we
Yeah.
were there. That's the difference. I was like, they knew we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We let people know that we were there.
I'm gonna say not everyone, but we let a lot of people
Who
know.
did we not let go?
I feel like we missed a sister.
Huh?
Did you-
Whose sister?
Yours.
My sister.
Yes.
I have
You have a lot, but
I have two sisters.
Missy. I don't think we told Missy we were there.
Well, there's a difference. So there's a whole. Okay, so if you want to pull that out, we talk about that.
We can, but I just said we don't have to. I'm just saying we missed a sister. That was
There
all.
are some. Hey, that might become my rant too.
You can't.
I'm putting that
no,
in a rant.
just finish a good thing. Let's talk about Washington.
All right. So she's in the area too,
Just that we missed. That's all. Just saying we
but
missed a sister.
sometimes I go up there just to see her.
Right.
So, and I do that not secretively, because I just said it now here on
Yeah.
here.
Now
So
everyone knows.
I say it. Okay.
Anyway.
So we saw Lucy.
yes.
We saw who else? Jenny.
Yep.
Ardonna.
Yep.
My sister that I have not seen in over 20 years.
22 years. Could you imagine not seeing a sibling in 22 years?
Haven't seen her in over 20 years.
Bananas.
Yeah. Saw Bailey.
Yep.
Saw Ryan.
They're together.
Well, yes, but we saw them both. And these are all relatives or so close they're pretty much relatives. Yeah. And we got to see Ariel. We got to see Tony. We got to see Linya. We got to see, who else did we see?
Ellie.
We went to the first birthday party.
Yeah.
Just happened on this. So that was amazing. So we did not get to see Emery.
We did not.
So I was a little.
She's a giant now. I feel like
every
time I see a picture. I know.
But the cool thing is, it's because they had a sitter.
Yes.
That's Bailey and Ryan's baby girl. So I'm okay with that. She had a baby. They had a babysitter. That's how they could come out. So thank you so much for taking your time to come see us. Everyone that saw us in the Pacific Northwest, we appreciate you.
Yes.
And we will come back soon.
And I felt so bad because like the last day we were trying to go see Lucy again.
Oh.
I was exhausted. Number one, I was so tired. So tired. I was just tired. And then I felt bad that we didn't go see him. That was like literally the last day. We got dinner, ate at the hotel, and sat and watched Jeopardy for like hours.
We watched like 4 episodes of Jeopardy, stared at the screen.
Yes.
Had some intimate time.
That's weird.
And then came back the next day. Well, I mean, that's what you do. When you travel as a couple, you gotta have that while you're traveling. I mean, you just have to. If you don't, it's just weird.
I mean, I guess. Could be someone's like normal thing. I don't know.
Well, not ours. But so it was really nice to get out there, get out of our heads for a while. We did work the whole time.
Every single day.
Which again, we might have an episode of that on how to balance working and going out there because we need more advice than we can give you.
Listen, there's no time to not work right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That will be its own episode. Workaholic versus growing a business. Where's the balance?
It's the same thing.
It's not true.
It's the same thing. So seriously, the things that we saw will probably come out we'll talk about those things because we did stuff from the big, what's it called?
Ferris wheel.
The big Ferris wheel.
Yep. Scooter tried to jump out.
Well, I have
refrained
an
himself.
issue. So
That was fun.
Did the Ferris wheel. We went to Mopop Museum,
Yep.
Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. What else we do?
We did the Matador for dinner.
Hit the Matador in Tacoma, my old stomping ground.
Downtown Tacoma, and we saw a goat, like a random goat.
Oh yeah,
on a leash.
I pet a goat.
A goat, not right?
I pet a goat.
Yes.
Just a random goat on a leash.
Yeah.
I was
Sugar.
like, I gotta play with the goat.
It was weird.
So that was awesome.
Saw some. Did you see music?
Saw a corgi with a tail
We did see a corgi with a tail. It was so cute.
in Seattle on the waterfront. We went
Yes.
down there. It was like, and we got to play with that dog for a little bit.
We went to a very delicious Korean restaurant and had like the best soju.
Modus.
Modu. Just one.
Modoo.
Yeah, that was really good.
It was really good.
Fast.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
It was in Linwood, Washington.
Agreed.
Highly recommend that. So there was a lot. I mean, it'll probably come out in the rest of this. So
Oh, okay. Sure. Good things. I liked them.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So we going on to rants.
We're going on to rants.
Because I don't even have anything put
You
in
don't
there.
have anything to
my
rant
mind-
about?
My brain is full. But what did we just talk about that I was going to rant about?
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Rewind it. Put
Put
that clip. That's you are no Jim Carrey.
Hey, that was pretty good.
It was actually really
Off
good.
the cuff there. All right,
But-
you gonna sing our jingle?
Uh-uh.
You could do it.
Uh-uh.
I did last week.
Rant of the week.
It's so. Why is yours so serious?
Because it's serious.
Okay, what you got?
I don't have
Nothing.
anything.
Okay, so I have two. Here's my first one. So as a business
Did you
owner,
throw a pen? I threw a pen.
yeah, as a business owner, I can't tell you enough how much I don't like AT&T for business. I don't like it.
So we are not sponsored by AT&T ever.
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 We tried to use them for that whole, here's a phone number, right? You call in, you push your number, you get an extension, and then that extension can go to someone's, because we all have cell phones, someone's cell phone number. They charged us for it, never actually set it up, and then like stopped responding to calls because we had like a business consultant that was like our person to do these things with. Stop responding to like information. And then finally my sister's like, you already charged us and nothing's set up. I need you to cancel this like now. So they finally did that. Then this week, I'm like, it's so weird how we have a cell phone that's just for business calls. And so we get missed calls to this phone, but it never tells me that there's a voicemail ever. And we've had this phone for like 2-3 months now. So I'm like, it's so weird. So Scooter gets an email that says, I've left you guys 2 messages and no one's responding. And I'm like, that's so weird because it doesn't say we have any voicemails. So I called the voicemail line. 11 voicemails on this friggin' phone that never told me that there was actually voicemails. And I'm just like, I friggin' hate AT&T so much. So much. That's my rant for number one.
I don't like it.
So mad. So mad. And I know there's other options. And the other thing is like, of course there's other options. But the amount of time it takes me to research these other options, now I need someone to research for me.
Well, I mean, and I look at it as like, okay. So when you pay for a service as a business owner, I'm just looking at it as a business owner, right? It's like you're paying for a service so that you can spend more time in your business.
Right.
But if you're paying for a service and you have to spend more time using that service than stepping aside and doing work, it's not worth it.
No. And the weird thing is like AT&T for our personal lines, I've never had an issue. Like I've had them, I think, since I was like 16 or 17 years old, and I've never had an issue.
I've had AT&T when it switched to singular
and
then came back.
Right.
I've had it that long.
But for some reason, for business, it's just trash, and it just is driving me insane.
I've never used it for business. I don't think I've had a landline for business. That's it.
No, you can't do that.
And landlines don't even exist anymore.
All right, my second rant for this week.
Keep going, because I might remember.
It's like a month-long rant, but this is my rant for this week.
You seem bitter.
Oh, I am friggin' bitter on this one. So 3 weeks ago, I think, I flew to Colorado. I rented a car. For no kidding, 3 hours I rented this car from Sixt. Write this down. Don't ever rent from them. Sixt.
In the States.
In the States. So your parent Europe's fine. I look at the car. We're good to go. I take it. I bring it back. I talk with somebody. They walk the car. They sign off saying we're good to go. I leave. I get a bill for $700 for a friggin' windshield. I rented the car for 3 hours and they want to charge me $700 for a windshield to replace it. I was like, you guys can go jump off a really short bridge. You guys are lost your mind. And I really think it's because they were like, oh, you have insurance. It's fine. And so I told my insurance, I'm like, there was no crack in this windshield when I drop it off. But also, I don't feel like getting sued by somebody over a $700 windshield. And I have insurance. I have my own insurance for this reason. But I'm so mad that I have to put it through my insurance because they're a-holes. So friggin' mad. I can't even tell you.
It's because they can.
Right.
I feel like
and there's nothing you could really do.
There's such a mess in the system because the same company has really high reviews in all other countries but the United States.
Yes.
But maybe I'll stem off that rant. Because we have this is my opinion, but it's based on experience and things that I've learned and looked into. We're a whole country of middlemen. And I think I've mentioned this before. Who makes all the money? Like the people at the top and the middlemen.
Yes.
The people that don't actually do anything but connect you with the next person. And I feel like that's what insurance is for.
Yeah.
You know, insurance protects the middleman. So you have a company like this, that there's this, not loophole, but it
is a freaking loophole.
I don't think it's loophole. It's built into the system.
It's true.
So it's easier for somebody to just claim it, pay the deductible.
Yes.
So the company gets the $700, whether there's a chip in the windshield or not.
Right.
It's irrelevant.
Exactly.
I don't think other countries allow that to occur.
I don't think so either.
And that's probably why they have a higher rating.
Right.
For the consumer.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Insurance companies in this country probably love them.
True.
Because they're getting paid all the time.
God, I hate them so much. I will never. And so I was going to fight it. And they're like, well, if you fight it, you'll never be able to rent from them again. And I'm like, I won't ever rent from them again. I have rented cars for literally since I was 25 years old, since I could. And I have never, and I've rented a car for weeks at a time. We've literally taken one to Washington and I've taken one to Texas. And I've never had an issue. 3 hours I rented this car. $700 for a friggin' crack in the windshield. So mad.
I've never come across that.
Ooh, anyways, that's my rant.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I don't know if I have really a rant.
It's weird.
Well,
you rant about everything.
I rant. Yes, I do. And I think I'm just exhausted from ranting in real life. Yeah. Because some of the things are, I think we've come to a place in our lives where our rants are very surface level, and I enjoy that because they're not
deep stuff.
Yeah, because we have, when we talk about anomalies, you're talking about I think it was last podcast, but real life is not
you can do it.
Real life is not an anomaly, right? Like losing somebody in your family, having to pay bills, having a car accident. Those are not anomalies. Those are just what it takes to survive as somebody who's in middle class America. Right? So it's hard to rant about those things, but when it comes to the system taking advantage of a human being, because they can, and it's built into the system, I feel like that's my rant. Maybe that is my rant. Kind of the built into the system to where it keeps certain people down. Like if you don't have money, you're always going to be kept down.
Yes.
It's built into the system.
Yeah.
If you're black or brown, it's built into the system.
Right.
You're going to be held down. If you're not Christian America,
right,
you're going to be held down and you're going to be pushed down and be second class. And I think maybe that's my rant of seeing that pretty much every day of my whole life. And I think that's not really a rant. It's more of like, pay attention, use your, how do I say it? Don't be a white savior, right? Just don't do that. That's the most pompous thing in the world to me. But use your privilege for good.
That was way more deep than I think you thought it was going to be.
I just came up with that. I didn't write anything down. My rant of the week is blank. But that's what I said, because that's my daily life. I feel like that's my daily life, our daily life.
Yeah.
I
like it.
All right. So we're done with the rant? We're done with the good things?
Yes.
What else here. Now? Oh, yeah.
Advise me not.
This is where we get into the meat and the tater tots. Chicken nuggets and fries.
That's good. Fish and chips.
Fish and JoJo's.
Yeah.
We've changed this a little bit. This is our Advise Me Not, which is on our lovely shirts by
I feel like my torso is not long enough for this.
Well, I just feel like you gotta say though, since you have breasts, your advise is much bigger than mine. So I need to do more push-ups or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what.
Just get you a bra.
Look, you're like, you need to do more push-ups.
We all need more push-ups.
We all do.
Yes.
What are we talking about? Okay,
right.
So this is the segment where Sarah has we kind of crowdsource these topics, or she just comes up with it because she wants me to be exposed over the internet. Sometimes that happens.
That's true.
That's a thing.
Not today.
And then I always leave this one blank because I have an opinion on everything, and then I go from there.
Yes.
That's it.
All right. This is very new, this one.
Oh, wow.
Very new.
It's going to hurt. Don't hurt yourself.
So, I know, I hit myself in the head. So, we heard from the grapevine today that somebody that we know is in like a not good situation, right?
Ooh, this one's fresh.
How do you reach out to someone knowing something's wrong? How do you do that without seeming like you're just being nosy, like you're just trying to get in their business. Like, how are you there for somebody? How can you be there for somebody?
Ooh, can you shorten the
No.
topics a little bit? Because I
mean,
it
did.
doesn't fit in the
Okay,
the podcast.
let
When
me-
you put
let
it
me
on
just-
like Spotify and stuff like that, it just becomes a ...
Well, it was short, and then I added to it. How do you reach out to people when you can see something's wrong?
Reaching out.
When something's wrong.
How about reaching out to those that are unreachable?
But they're not unreachable.
Reaching out.
You don't know yet. You haven't had the conversation.
Okay.
Rebecca says take them to get drinks. What if they're not that age?
What if they're not 21? That's
I guess-
called illegal.
But I guess drinks doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be root beer. Root beer floats.
Illegal.
All right, what's your advice?
You're just gonna put that out in there and just like blast.
You said you have opinions on everything.
I do have an opinion.
Okay, what's your opinion?
First, my question would be, what was it again? Reaching out
When you can see something's wrong.
but yet
Like, how do you? But you don't want to
Yet.
be nosy. You don't want to seem like you're in their space.
be nosy.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Because some people get really offended if you're nosy.
I believe in that too. But I'm also one of those people that I ask way more questions than you do on everything, except for where they work. So here's a question. The specific person that you're talking about, we've known for many, many years.
Yes,
Yet you don't know their number.
I do. I'm pretty
think.
sure.
Pretty sure.
It's the one I got.
Pretty sure.
But you don't know their number either.
No, I don't.
Right. So that doesn't help the situation.
What helps the situation is being nosy, asking the question. Sometimes, if it pisses them off, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Because I feel like getting in somebody's business because you care and you've known them for years, that's probably because you're paying attention.
Right.
Right? So it's good for them. I feel like it can be good for them and they wanted you to pay attention all this time, but you never did.
So this one, I mean, again, it's a very specific situation. It's hard because we wouldn't have known just by knowing her that something was going on.
Correct.
Like somebody had to tell us that something's going on.
Well, because, I mean, this is a human being of ours, like somebody we know's really good friend.
Yes. So at that point, do you still feel like you should be nosy?
Yes.
Because then are you breaking? Because like we don't know what the trust is between the two people and the person who told us.
Is that
right?
why? But
Does it matter?
yes, it does matter. Here's where it matters. Is there danger involved?
Yes.
If there's danger involved, those rules are off the table.
Yeah.
If it's financial trouble, got it. That can be sensitive. If it's relationship trouble, like, hey, they're not getting along with their significant other, those kind of things. But if it's dangerous, like gang related,
Yeah.
abuse, violence, that's a 911 call.
Right.
So if you can get, if the situation is gotten to the point where somebody besides just normal people in life, like fire department or the police department or something, need to be involved, or a caseworker needs to be involved, you should probably be more nosy.
Okay.
That, to me, that's the breaking point. Being nosy is like, oh, so what'd your honey do? And you're like, well, that's creepy.
So do you literally just go up to them and be like, "We're gonna go out I want to take you out to lunch"?
No.
Or do you just say, "I see that something's going on. Let's have a conversation"?
Yeah. Let's have a conversation. What's your favorite drink? Oh, I don't have that. This is what I'm going to pour you. I'll make you a sandwich. Right? Do you like biscuits?
Yeah.
No, but for real, like,
Because there's that thing of like, did they not tell you because they're not sure if they could trust you because they're scared of what you're gonna say? Like at some point,
who cares?
but I feel like that's what makes people less open. So even
Okay,
if you ask and they say nothing, what do? Just
Then
move
you
on.
move on.
Oof, it's hard.
Then you can't press the issue.
That's the.
But
dilemma.
if there's an actual thing going on that somebody of better training than you, like psychologists,
Right.
police department, like I said, it was like, then you get a hold of those people and say, hey, you should look into this.
Yeah.
Isn't that, I mean, that if you, like the basic steps of business, this basic steps of relationships in business. We treat relationships in business better than we treat relationships with each other.
Yeah.
We're
There's
like,
less fear, I think, about losing somebody in a business relationship.
but you're
Because you're like, who cares? It's business. But when
Okay.
but to lose like a familiar relationship, like a close relationship, I think is so much
but to
scarier.
lose that relationship to save that other person,
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's
Like you can lose me as your best friend or as a brother or sister, whatever. You can lose me. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're safe. You're taken care of. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I can move from that. I can move on from that.
True.
I think that's where I come from.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I make way more enemies than I make friends.
It's true.
It's very true. And that's okay with me because I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Now, have I done all the right thing the whole time? Oh, God, no.
Right.
I've made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
But my intentions were good. And I think we talked about that before is like, I think we all come from the intention to do something good.
Right.
Doesn't mean we're doing good, but we have come from that intention.
Yeah. I always feel like, let's do chat first. So Becca and Keith are like, drinks or lunch, take them somewhere so you can like have that safe space. Uriel was saying if they say no, reassure them that they did at some point need something that they can't wait. Hold on. If they say no, I'd reassure them if they did at some point, I needed something they can come to you for help for, even to just lend an ear.
I think that's a huge one for me because I deal with that a lot, especially when it comes to teenagers as I've had 5 kids, right? Through the teenage years, it's kind of like, I know that you hate me right now. I know that things are not going well now, but guess what? I'll still be here when you're ready.
Yeah.
I'm still here when you're ready. We've always got a place. You can always come see me. You know my number. I have never disappeared, like ever, in my whole life, even though I was doing stupid things. That's not me getting emotional. That was actually a frog in my throat. It always being that's huge, Uriel, because that's my mantra as a human being.
So I have the hard part of it's hard for me to like initiate the conversation, but I'm a very good listener. Like I am probably like A+ in listening. I listen
The best listener.
I'm a very good listener.
And I'm great at initiating the conversation.
Right, but it's really
Great
hard
at
for
it.
me to initiate
listen,
the conversation.
what's going on?
Yeah, that part's hard.
Not for me.
Yeah.
But being with you as my partner, it makes it hard for me to do that because you don't want me to do that because you'll feel awkward. You're like, now it's awkward. I was like, well, it's supposed to be awkward because it's, what is it? It's, I've seen this statement over it's only easy now because it used to be hard.
True.
I don't know if that's a statement.
Don't know, but it sounds good.
It's only easy for you now because it was at one time hard for you.
Yeah.
And you had to get through it. It's the only reason.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easy. Nothing. Name one thing that comes easy.
I agree with you, but it's just and it's hard.
It's got to be hard first.
I know. But it is. But that conversation is hard, especially when you see somebody. The weird thing is, it's like that borderline. If I see somebody crying, it's hard for me because I'm a good listener, but dealing with people's emotions for me is hard. Like, it's just hard for me to be like, why are you crying? I don't understand. You should pep up. But being able to like see somebody when they're just a little bit off and being like, do you want to talk about what's going on? To say that to somebody for me is kind of hard.
Because yours is more like, what's wrong with your face?
Yes. I do say that a lot to people.
That's so true. It's like, what's wrong with your face? I always say, check your face. That's me. Usually when you could see
Saucy.
they're getting upset.
Yeah.
Like mad at me. I'm like, you need to check your face first before we have this conversation. Check your face.
Because CJ was crying the other day, the other morning. He had got trouble. His computer got taken away, and he was super upset about it. So he woke up in the morning, his computer was gone, and he was downstairs and he was crying. And again, it's one of those things of like, why are you crying? Right. But then in my head, I'm like, no, what would your kids say? Why are you upset? Like, what's upsetting you right now? Not so much why are you crying, but what are you actually upset about? He still didn't talk to me because he was in tears. But later in the day, he texted me and told me what was happening and how he felt about the whole situation.
So here's something. She hasn't told me none of this.
No.
No. So this is coming out on live. This is parenting. Great parenting right here. I have no idea what she's talking about right now.
It's not bad parenting.
She has not told me any of this.
This is called forgetful parenting right here. I'm sorry. This is how it's
Heard
going.
none.
So he was really upset about our take on taking the computer away, right? So again, his perspective of what happened and what went down and how he felt like we should have handled things differently. But the whole point of this was I'm not good at the whole, I see you're upset. If he would have said nothing and just sat there quietly, I would have been like, oh, something's wrong. And then we could have had like a, I don't know, to me, it's like a more calm conversation. But when when emotions are already heightened, I don't know how to interact with people.
But sometimes that's not a time to have the conversation. And you've taught me that. Sometimes when my emotions are high or your emotions are high, that's not the time to have a conversation, right?
Yes. It's true. It's true. But I've learned from my children that if I don't say something, then I'm like neglectful.
You got to say something.
Right. But I never know what the thing is to say. I felt like this time I did okay. I mean, after the point where I was like, I sat down on the couch next to him like this because I was almost annoyed that he was crying because I knew he was crying about. I knew it was the computer. The computer literally was gone for about 4 hours and he had like lost it already. But it wasn't about the computer being gone. It was about the way that we perceived him and why we took the computer.
Right.
And that's the part that was upsetting.
And again, I mean, this has gone way off the rails.
No, it's not. Still the same thing.
Okay, but we're always off the rails. And realistically, he's right. It had nothing to do with the computer.
Right.
Absolutely nothing to do with the computer.
Right.
It was the fact that he told his mom that she lied to him. And I was like, I'm not going to do that in my house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have you calling my wife a liar. That's just not how it works.
Right.
And it was about permission. You know, as a 15-year-old kid, you have to ask permission to use things in the house.
Right.
You just do, because you really don't own anything at that point. Right. So you have to ask permission. He did not ask permission to use a computer. Yet later that night, he asked permission to play a game longer on his computer.
Right.
And I was like, why are you on your computer? Mom said I could use it. And she goes, no, I didn't.
I didn't.
And she said, he said to her in front of me, you told me I could use it.
Right.
And she said, no, I didn't. I was like, okay, now you're like binary or lawfully, you're telling her she's lying. Because somebody's telling the truth, right?
Right.
And I'm going to be on the side of you every single time.
Right.
So I was like, okay. Then, okay, go to bed. I just said, go to bed. And at that night, before we went to bed, I just took the computer, unplugged it, put it in our room. That's it. I didn't go further than that. I think there was one point when I was talking about him abusing the computer privileges.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that I said the wrong day or something, that he abused it, the privilege. And I was like, that's not the point at all. Yeah. And I used choice words.
Didn't like it.
She didn't like the word that I used.
Did not.
It wasn't fudge.
I'll tell you that right now.
I was going to say it wasn't. Yes, but it did start with a PH.
Yes. Pterodactyl.
Phonetically PH. That's a PT. Because I'd had it. I was like, you're attacking my wife. And I make mistakes so often.
No, we are off the rails.
But when somebody's, I mean, we can come back to that. We can come back to where, like, when somebody's having a problem and then we don't know how to check in.
Yes.
And that happens to all of our children.
Yeah.
All of our children's friends, our own friends. And the problem is when we have our own friends, we don't see them often enough. And let's do a little spin on that. When you don't see a friend, but like every 3-4 months, you're always putting your best foot forward.
It's true.
So you really don't know what's really going on.
Yeah.
If you're not checking in on a continuous basis.
You know what's odd? Again, anomaly, right? So I have like, other than my sisters, I have 2 really good friends. And when we'd see each other, it's never that. It's never best foot forward. It's always like, let me friggin' tell you what happened
That's
since
different.
the last time that I saw you. Like,
That's different.
I don't know how to do best foot forward, I feel like, with people.
That's
And
to
I
me.
think-
That's locker room. That there's this, or I think there's this masculine part of it called locker room talk.
Yeah.
It's like you go in, you always complain about your spouse, or you complain about your partner, or you complain about
Not a complaint. It's just like it's like a word vomit of real life is what happens.
no, but I mean, not that that's a bad thing. I was like, it's a vent. You
Yeah.
have nowhere else to vent it,
yeah.
right?
But it is hard to like show people that you can be trusted with what's going on. Because I remember like when I was with long time ago before Scooter, when I was married the first time, Lloyd before
Thanks for
Scooter.
clarifying.
Well, I get
It was
married now,
before
not from Utah.
Me and we were married and married to somebody else. Thanks
Anyways,
for clarifying that. That's
the
weird.
things that were going on, and it was less of I didn't feel like I could trust people, and more of like I was so embarrassed by where I let my life go
Right.
that I was like, even if somebody asked me, the answer was always going to be like, oh no, everything's fine, because it wasn't I couldn't trust you. It wasn't like things were good. It wasn't even a whole best foot forward thing. I was just too embarrassed to be like, this is where I've let life go.
I mean, it's because I feel like that's the definition of pride,
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
In that context, like when they talk about, but I think that's biblical. Pride cometh before the fall. That's what that is when you're so close to it and you're like, I'm embarrassed
yeah,
for what I've become,
right.
instead of going, this is what I've become. I want to do better.
And that's hard.
How can I be better?
That's really
That's the
hard.
hardest part about everything.
Right.
That's the hardest part about sports. That's the hardest part about business.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part about bad relationships. That's the hardest part about good relationships, because I think when you have a good job, a good career, a good business, or a good relationship, it could be better. But how do you improve on that? Or you just go status quo, ride it out.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's probably what's gotten me the worst, is being embarrassed.
Yeah.
Always been embarrassed. I was like, when in my first marriage, when we were trying to get it to work, and yet the other person felt like I wasn't there for that person, and then she was with other people, like, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then other people knew in our friend group,
Right.
knew about it, and I didn't, that she was with other people. And I'm like, that's so embarrassing.
Right.
I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
So when somebody said, hey, how you doing? I was like, hey, I'm getting through it, man. Day by day.
Right.
But really inside, I'm just like crushed.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm destroyed. My whole like foundation is crumbling beneath me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we gone off the rails?
No, I think we're still good.
So what's the original? Oh, go
Wait,
ahead. Rebecca
comment.
has
Okay.
a comment.
So Keith said, new segment, forgetful parenting. That is should be a shirt I wear, because that is my whole life. Forgetful
You better
everything.
jot that down.
Forgetful.
Because if you don't jot it down,
parenting.
you'll forget it.
I know.
Quack.
Thank you for that one right there. And then Rebecca said, I need to be more like that. I need to be more prideful. Rebecca is one of those people who will literally share everything that's happening in her life.
No, you don't need to be more prideful.
No,
I feel like that's
It's good where you are.
cathartic.
Yes.
That we need to be more like you.
yes.
I mean, we get on here because we can complain about each other in a sense.
Yeah.
In a kind, growing
Yes.
way.
Without being mad.
Well, because
Stable.
we know it's being recorded and some people are watching. So it does help us kind of go, I need to listen to this. Otherwise, I'm going to be perceived as a real...
The other cool thing about like even having a conversation with Rebecca, no matter what's going on, is when you talk to her, she makes you feel like I can share the same thing that I'm going through. I can share
I could tell
similar
her
things.
anything.
Right. I could literally tell her anything because one, she's not going to judge what I'm saying. But two, she's been through or is going through the same things that I've been through or going through. So it's just like she's so open that you realize I could literally say anything. And I think that's super important, especially when you see somebody going through something, of being like, maybe not even asking them, just like taking them to lunch and be like, let me just tell you about all the crap that's been going on. And then they're like, yeah, this has been going on with me also.
Right. And we do, somebody said this to me a long time ago, and I can't remember what it was. It was like, somebody's going through something and you're looking at it, was like, I went through that when I was like 15.
Yeah.
You know, it was like homelessness, whatever it was. And they're like, yeah, but it's a big deal to them right now.
Right.
And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
You know, so going through a breakup at 15, 16, 17, that's your world.
Yeah, it's devastating.
So it's like, it's still hard for me to go, you know what, suck it up, because 5 years from now, you're going to go, that was dumb anyways.
That was a whole 4 weeks of my life.
Yeah, I was like, whatever. But
in the moment, it's the worst
in the
thing
moment,
that's
it's
ever happened.
everything in the world, because it is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Exactly.
And that's a good thing. I feel like if you can get to that point where that's a good thing, not like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten in 4 days.
Right.
You know, it's all relative.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
That's all I had. I liked it. Do you have anything else you want to add on this topic?
I have no idea at this point.
Do you remember what the topic was?
No.
It's
It was
fine.
so freaking long.
It was not.
The topic, that topic says reaching out when. That's all I have.
You
because
can
it
read
was
my
just
notes
so
later. It
long.
was not
Like,
that long.
it's going to be, I'm going to have to put it in an acronym or something. It was like,
It wasn't that long.
do you know how titles work?
No.
Like, it's a short little blip, and then
Whatever.
people, whoa, and then you go into it.
Whatever. Oh, is Ryan in the chat today? I haven't
I
heard
have
from him
no
yet.
idea.
I
I
was telling
talked to him earlier.
to give us a random question.
Oh, is that where we're headed now?
Yeah, I think
We're
so.
trying to make this light?
I
Is
mean-
this too intense?
No, I feel like this is pretty good.
Is that where we're headed then?
Yeah.
We can look up stuff. That's easy.
Bonus round. Bonus round.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just reading all the cards.
Okay, but like when you're reading cards, that's called dead air.
Well, you're talking, so it's fine.
So you need to vamp while you're
You
reading
vamp
cards.
while I read cards.
There's
Obviously.
nothing to vamp. You're reading the cards.
What? Check to see if Ryan has any random questions he wants to ask
I don't
us.
know. He's
Oh, that sounds terrible. These are all. I feel like I don't know. Okay. Have we talked about if you could?
just give this to me so that I'm gonna ask it no matter what. I don't have a choice.
You're right. Have we talked about if you get one tattoo, what would you get?
Only one.
Yeah, if you
I
had
think
to
we
get-
talked about the next tattoo, but I don't
Did
think we
we?
did one.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I mean, it's the same thing.
We probably have
So our kid got a tattoo like a couple weeks ago. Did we talk about that?
2 of them.
2 of them.
2 tattoos.
And,
Not 2 children, but 2 tattoos.
Well, as far as we know,
What do you mean?
we don't know if anyone else got tattoos. We didn't ask.
Okay.
Just saying.
Maybe you should ask. Maybe you should actually ask a kid like a question about how
You know,
things are
we're gonna-
actually going.
Instead
Instead of like, where's your kid? I don't know.
Instead of bonus
Who
round,
they hang out with?
we're going
You're like,
with-
I don't know.
We're going with forgetful parenting. But in reality, it's called Last Child. All right. We're going to call this segment Last Child. Because at the beginning of parenting,
Isn't that an Aerosmith song?
I have no idea. You wanted to know everything your kids were doing, who they were hanging out with, blah, blah, blah. At this point, we have CJ left. CJ is turning
This is our
16
bonus
on
round?
Sunday. This is our bonus round. CJ is turning 16 on Sunday. I don't want to say that I'm less of a good parent. I feel like I'm a better parent, but I ask way less questions. Right now, he's walking home from the gym, training a friend whose name is something I don't know.
At almost 9 o'clock at night.
At 9 p.m. But the gym is open 24 hours a day. But the point is,
The sun isn't.
if it was
Crime
if
isn't.
it was like Elise when she was his age, I'd be like, of course you can't. Of course it's not a thing. And it's not even because he's a boy. It's because this is the last kid.
Well, and plus, nobody
And-
can lift him to kidnap him.
No, CJ's like literally 6'2", like 200.
Is he 6'2"?
Yeah, like 230 something.
At least.
pounds.
He's more than that. I'm
just a-
230.
He's just a freaking linebacker. So I'm just like, it's not even like a male female thing. It literally is just. Becca said he's a grown man. He is. It's just. I don't want to say I don't care as much, But the things that I was so concerned about when the girls were smaller, I just realized it's a lot. It's a lot to keep being concerned about for another, I don't know how many years. Is that terrible? Probably. But it's true.
I
It's where I'm at right now. I don't know what to tell you.
and I'm different.
So Scooter's like, who's he going to the gym with? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
How's he getting there?
What time?
Ryan took him.
I don't know.
When's he coming back? I don't know.
I don't know. I was like, what is happening right
What
now?
do you know? I know he's at Planet Fitness. Are you sure? I mean, that's what he told me.
Right. And you don't know. So you
Am I
have
double
no
checking?
idea.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Also, that and it's have I been burned multiple times by children? Absolutely. But every single time I feel like, hey mom, I'm going to do this. You know what I say? Cool. Get home safe. I'll see you when you get home. If you need a ride, give me a call. That's where I'm at. But forgetful parenting. I have this thing where there's a lot going on in a day. And
Yes.
between Scooter
very
telling me things and the kids telling me things, and then people expecting me to tell them what someone else told them, plus work and running a business, I don't have the brain capacity to always remember to tell somebody else something else that somebody else told me. So, forgetful parenting is 100% a thing. It should be tattooed on my arm because that is... Scooter's like, so did they tell you about this? I'm like, I'm going to say maybe because I think we had that conversation, but I don't remember. But there are certain things like the computer. I'm like, I remember specifically on that one saying you cannot have the computer go as Scooter.
Well, you didn't say that. You said go ask Scooter.
No, he first said, can I play on the computer? I was like, no, it's a school night. Can I play on the Switch? I said, you know what? Go see what Scooter says. And then you said, yes, you can play on the Switch. And I was like, he said, Scooter said I can play on the Switch. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's a school night. But
Well, that was, I mean, I'm very specific. I was like, I need to know, because I feel like I have learned that the world will treat you poorly.
Me too.
Right. Oh, okay.
I agree. Sorry.
So I was like,
I agree.
I don't know what.
I got excited. I'm sorry.
So can I have a turn?
Guess.
All right. So my perspective is the world treats certain people and different people poorly. So when I look at that and go, if we can at least play by the rules, then maybe we have a shot. Right? So when I'm raising a kid, and I think Ari was talking about this the other day. It was like, she looks at her kids. Probably misquoting, but looking at her kids like, I'm not raising a child. I'm raising an adult.
Right.
You know, it's like these humans are going to be running the country within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And 10 years, when you're almost
Goes by real
50,
quick.
when you're almost 50 like me, it goes by quick.
Yes.
You're like, whoa, crap. I remember having a beer on my 40th birthday with you,
Yeah.
which it feels like
Downtown.
was yesterday.
Yeah.
So I look at it that way. And when we can find our opportunities to be consistent and train or show our kids what it means to be responsible, communicate, be there when they say they're going to be there, then they have not a leg up, but a fighting chance. I'm not saying they're better than anybody else, because they already have enough challenges being who they are in this world, right?
Yes. And I totally agree.
So if they're
Totally
on
agree.
time
Yes.
and they communicate well, they're respectful, then they at least have a fighting chance.
Yes.
That's my thought as looking from how I was raised and how
Yeah.
because I was given some opportunities and some things along the way because I'm a white male. Not because my dad was rich, not because my mom was, uppity or had any way to get, the only thing I had was my privilege. And I did the best I could with what I had, not finances, not where I'm born and raised. I had none of that. Not my lineage. I didn't have anybody, I had to make my own connections, but at least I had that.
Yeah.
So I look at like, there's already a lot of shortcomings in a lot of lineages by birth.
Right.
So at least you'd have a fighting chance if you're respectful, on time, communicate well. I mean, your parents taught you that.
But here's the funny thing.
No, that's not funny.
No,
Your
no,
parents taught you
I
that.
agree. But here's the funny part. Is I parent a lot like the way my mom parented.
But
right?
where's the dad?
I also have the dad side of me too.
Right? Where?
Because dad wasn't as like
Where?
all of this. So dad wasn't as like militant as you were. We just knew.
Militant?
Yeah.
Bro.
We just knew there are certain things we don't do. Like, it wasn't like he was like, you are going to be home at this time. We were just like, we're not stupid enough to not be home at this time. It was like such an unspoken word. And then mom was so gentle and kind about things that it was like this weird balance that worked. But it was so much unspokenness that didn't have to happen. Like, we didn't have to, nobody had to tell us we had to do these things.
Then why do I have to keep telling people over and over?
I don't know. This keep coming out. The words keep coming out. But when we did screw up, we knew, like, there was no like, I don't know if dad's mad. We knew dad was mad, right? But mom had so much grace of like, your dad's real mad, but here's what's going to happen. Like, there was such a good balance between the unspokenness of what dad did and then like literally the unspokenness of what mom did. For some reason, we were able to read between the lines, which is really weird. I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either.
Because Scooter is very overspoken, very over communicating. We all know
in your eyes.
We all know what you're thinking. No one's ever like shocked that you say something like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's what he's thinking." Like, ever. Because you always tell us what you're thinking.
But I had like an hour and a half conversation with my oldest daughter the other day.
Oops. Mm-hmm.
Right. And we talked about a lot of things that are going on in the household and a lot of stuff, that we did, that happened while I was raising them in a sense. I'm putting up air quotes.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't an absent father, but I definitely wasn't present.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And the conversation kind of went like, they're getting the good version of you. Like, I was like, so I don't understand. And I was like, I know. I was like, so.
But they don't know that.
But they're just getting the version they get.
Right.
But when it comes to being militant, I really, truly want people to go out into the world and go, why should somebody have to tell you to do something more than once? The real life doesn't let you do that.
Yeah.
Real life does not let you do that.
Let me just say this real quick, though, because that statement of why do you have to go out with somebody telling you more than once is so counterintuitive to you telling people be rock and roll. And when someone asks you to do something, ask why. It's like sometimes it's so counter to that thought process. It gets confusing of like, so you want me to listen to what people say, but you also want me to ask why am I doing what you're saying? But then if they say do it anyways, you're like, now that's more than once. And so do I continue saying, why am I doing this?
You ready for this?
Yes.
Because I am rock and roll and I do challenge the status quo, but I find a way to have a conversation about it instead of just flipping the bird and said, you're stupid, and then just make up my whole own story and piss off.
Right.
There's a difference. Like, will you make change? Yes. If you're that person that just says, I'm rock and roll and screw this system. And I was like, but you're going to be part of the 27 club, right? Dead at 27.
Right.
That's you do change the world. So you talk about your Morrisons. You talk about your
I got you. Continue.
Yeah, just you talk about all the people that actually did make those huge catastrophic changes.
Right.
But they're dead at 27. Right? There's a reason why.
Yeah.
right? Somebody had to carry on that legacy and somebody still had to do the work afterwards. I'd like to be that person. I don't need to be that famous, but I'd like to be the person that carries on that legacy.
I'm just saying, for a kid who's like 15, 16, 17, it's just confusing. We had this conversation before. It's that weird balance of talking back versus standing up for yourself.
Correct.
As a kid, literally everything's considered talking back. And then at some point we have to teach them, oh no, now it's okay to stand up for yourself. And it's a weird flip of when it's okay.
And I don't think it's a flip.
But it is.
It's a process
in kids' minds, it's a flip. It's like for some reason they turn 18 and all of a sudden if they talk to any other adult, now it's not talking back. But if it's my parents, then it's talking back to them. It's the weirdest thing as a kid that you have to fight and deal with. In the club right here, where's the point where I can stand up and say, I don't agree with what you say, and that stop being talking back?
Okay.
Because as a kid, it was.
But you can't do that as an adult to your own dad.
Oh, no, still no.
Okay, so you're saying what you're coming from a point of you can never make the flip.
I can't.
Okay, but that's all I'm saying.
But
is
we want our kids to be able to find the flip.
We do.
But where is it?
It's different for every human being. It's not a number. It's not a date.
Because
it's not
if I'm talking to another adult and they're speaking disrespectfully to me in a way that I don't like, I'm okay with being like, oh, that's enough. I'm not doing that anymore. But again, I don't think my dad's ever talked disrespectfully to me. So that's that weird balance. But I don't know if there's a point where like I had a parent say something to me, like one of my parents say something, I'm like, I don't agree with that. And being able to stand up being like, you know what? I don't agree with what you just said. I don't know that I could. Unless it's like something super egregious and like against you or the kids. I think I'd be like, okay, Dad, that's enough. But other than that, like, I don't know.
I'm a person that just distance myself from that person because there's enough.
Because you just bow out.
Because there's 7 billion people on the planet.
We've been around people.
So I'm out.
And you've said things, and they've said things, and you're just like, well, we're not going to see them again.
Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it. Well, not we. I was like, I don't want to talk to them ever again.
You say we.
Well, you can do whatever you
Well,
want.
because it's your side. Sometimes.
It's mostly my side of my life. Yes, my family, my friends, whatever.
Sounds like a weird rant session.
Maybe that's the rant, but yeah, I just look at it as like, yes, there is a balance. There's a very hard to establish balance of this be rock and roll, have your own voice.
Yes.
But don't disrespect people at the same time.
Right.
And I feel like that's what growth is.
Yeah.
Because when something's not okay in my eyes, I'm not going to yell at someone.
Right.
That shouldn't be my default.
Not anymore, but at some point in your life you may.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So
like more than once.
But it's again, it's that conversation we have with our kids of like, I want you to do these things, but then they're not hearing it, right? They're like, by the time they get it, they're going to be 40, 50 years old, and they're like, oh, now I totally get what they were saying. But it's so it's hard to have that expectation of them to understand what we want them to do.
Expectation. We start every day. We start.
It's still an expectation. I expect you to do these things. I expect you to talk to people this way. I expect you to do these things. Whether you do them or not is up to you. But I do expect that the way that I've raised you would lead to these things. That's an expectation.
Something. I don't know.
It's a something. Again, the whole point is to lead them to be respectful human beings. So we are raising them in an expectation of they're going to be good human beings. Hopefully.
That's what we're hoping.
And respectful human beings.
But we also have to look at it as like our children in this house, let's be real, are 20 and younger.
Yes.
So they're babies.
Yes.
They're babies
absolutely
in life.
Yeah.
So we as grown adults that have had thousands of experiences don't know what we don't know.
Right.
Right. So there's so much more at 15, 20, 22, 25. There's such a bigger section of your life that you don't know.
Oh, so much growing between those ages.
We're talking like, 20% of just basics.
You haven't lived anything yet.
Right? And then me being almost 50, I know about 40.
Right.
Maybe 40. So we have to keep growing and keep learning. And I think that's the biggest challenge of when do I have an adult voice? You don't. I don't think anybody actually just gets an adult voice because they're educated, experienced. They just don't. They don't get one. I think it's listening to what people are saying. Now, if I look at it as like, if a person at 15, 16 is telling me what the cool music is for today or the awesome video games that are being played right now, I should be listening. Yeah. Right?
Because they're relevant.
Right? But if they're going to tell me how to be a pro basketball player, sorry.
Right.
That's not something you read that somewhere or you heard somebody speak it and you're repeating it. That's totally fine. So it's a perspective thing. It's like, I can't tell somebody at almost 50 years old what the cool music of 2023 is. I cannot do that.
You could try.
Oh, I could try.
It'd be real funny.
Because I read it on something.
Yeah.
But I'm not experiencing it. Yeah. I'm not experiencing it. So I can give my perspective, but it's going to be very disconnected to what the real young crowd of the rock and roll or music is going to be.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of differentiate that. I was like, I make fun of it when it comes to music and it comes to art and movies and that kind of stuff, but I don't live in 2023 as a teenager.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to, once they grow into that moment of, I don't know they're not going to explain to me how to hammer in a nail.
Sure. They might.
Why? They're going to. But I'm like, I've done that like a million times.
Yeah.
In my life. So yeah, perspective.
Good, whatever that was.
Did we even do anything?
Yeah, we did.
That was our bonus round.
We had a conversation during bonus round. Forgetful parenting. Thanks, Keith.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. No,
or just
don't worry
about
that one.
I get frustrated about your forgetful parenting. Is that what the subject was?
Absolutely, he gets frustrated.
Daily.
I get frustrated
on the daily.
I'm also annoyed. I'm like, yes, somebody walked into my office and told me something that I was supposed to remember. And I said, you should probably put it in the group chat because I'm going to forget it. And they didn't. And then we move on from there. Or I'm up so early that by the time I see Scooter, 1,800 things have happened since then. So I don't remember the conversation that we had in the morning. By the time I see you, I've done so many things. And then I also have to remember that I had a conversation with someone about something.
Is that a reason or an excuse?
It's an excuse.
Okay. So how do we as human beings grow and become better?
You wake up with me in the morning and go with me on the car ride so you can hear all the conversations.
So I have to adapt to your lifestyle.
Yes.
That's the answer.
Yes.
Okay.
I like it.
That's how this relationship goes. I adapt to you.
I mean, I stay up till 1:00 in the morning for you because that you're a night owl.
Do you?
And then I get up at 6 a.m.
Do you?
Yes. Then I get up at 6 a.m. to live life. So I mean, you can get up at 8.
Yeah. As soon as we sit on the couch,
That's not true. Yesterday, I slept for the first 15 minutes of a movie, and then I woke up for the rest. I just need a power nap. That was all. Also, been up since 6 a.m.
I mean, she has an app that wakes her up. She has a phone that wakes her up because she snores too much.
That it does not wake me up. It starts recording the snoring, and sometimes it's yours, not mine.
You don't know that?
Yes, I do.
How do you know?
Because I'm still awake and you're sleeping.
How? You just said you what?
On the couch, I'm asleep first, but upstairs, you're asleep before me.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, I'm not tired. Bed hits me. I'm out.
We should stay up till 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, I don't want to. I got to be up in 4 hours.
If I touch a bed, doesn't matter what time of day. If I touch a bed, I'm asleep.
But he's never tired until
like
he goes to sleep.
3:00. It could be 3:00 in the afternoon. I go up there and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lay in this.
Yes.
I'm like, what is happening?
My phone records us both. That's all I'm saying.
All
right.
So true.
Did you do a what's up in your
No.
area?
Oh yeah, I did. But is that what we're doing? I was like, we didn't do bonus round.
No, it's fine. That was our bonus round.
Okay. So
it's like a rant / bonus round.
You know, I just organize and put this all together and produce everything. But you know what? The talent, that's just what she does. The talent shows up and we just roll with it.
It's true.
I don't have a sounder for anything that she does.
That is also true. You should make those.
I know.
I feel like I say that every week.
Go to work.
Like, gosh, what else are you doing?
Work more.
Ridiculous.
Lately, I've been working for you.
I know.
I was like, and my own job.
Get it together, man.
Goodness. What are we doing? Oh, what's up in you? Area.
You go first, because I think I have yours.
Yep, I see it.
Don't see? Cheater. Right
no,
there.
cheater. I just wanted to go with the flow.
All right, go ahead.
So it's with sad and excited at the same time.
What? Why is it sad?
Because Ryan's not going to be here.
Yeah.
Ryan and Bailey are not going to be here this weekend.
Okay, continue. This is long.
Because, one of our favorite breweries, Log Off, is having their anniversary weekend this weekend. It's their 3rd year.
Woot woot.
And that's insane to me that this is only their 3rd year. Because I
They've
feel
been
like they're
around
a
forever.
staple.
Yeah, it's been like 10
Right?
years.
And I think when I met them before their 1st year anniversary.
Yeah.
Is when I started working with them. And they've just become exponentially greater.
Awesome. Okay,
like, yeah, they've like Kenny didn't even work with them at that point.
That's true.
He just, and I was like, I got connected with him. Then Kenny came on there and I was like, I know Kenny. It was a very work with, pay attention to the universe kind of moment. But this weekend, 3-year anniversary for Log Off Brewing in Rancho Cordova.
Yes.
So if you are in the area, what's up in you or area?
Sacramento this time. We'll be there Saturday.
Rancho Cordova. Greater Sacramento, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, it's close.
What time are we going tomorrow?
I have no idea.
Is tomorrow Saturday? Yes.
We have work
Tomorrow.
to do. You said Saturday we were going.
Yes. 2. No.
Oh, we're going to figure it out. I mean, that's just, So we are going there tomorrow. We don't know what time yet. But we're going to go out there. If you are in the area, I have something under my paper and it's bugging me.
Let's go have a Walker Texas Oranger together. For Ryan.
Yes. One of his favorite beers, Ryan's favorite beers there, it also won some recent awards. So it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm very excited about that, actually. I don't know what food or music they're playing, but it was just like, oh, we got to go support them because I think we've been to we've been to the first one, the second one, and now the third one.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the second one.
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay.
Had out all the new. Yeah.
If you say so, I'm sure we forgetful.
No, we were there.
All right, which other one?
That's all I have.
That's all you have?
I was like, why would you have me do 2 in a row?
I don't know, because I have so many.
I know.
Just kidding. I only have 3.
You were
So-
writing down notes while
just
I'm
wrote-
setting up the whole setup here.
That's
While
not
I'm
true.
putting cameras
I
and
was
stuff.
making dinner.
You
while
did.
You were setting
You
up.
put something in the oven and left.
Mother
Am I wrong?
goose.
Am I wrong?
I chop things up and then put it in the oven. I just shove something in the oven and leave.
But you're a time traveler to food.
Put
You know
something in
this.
the oven. Like I wasn't in there doing something.
Or you put it in a
Anyway,
volcano.
I did. It was hot.
It was so hot.
So
Very
I was going to say, on Sunday, let's go Saturday. Saturday in Natomas is what's called a love market, which is weird. But it's,
What's air quotes for that? Why is love in air quotes for
why
you?
is it called a love market?
I don't know what it is yet. So
Oh, then stop interrupting me and I'll tell you.
I don't know how.
So the love market is like a secondhand thrift store type vibe and like vendors and food and music. I think it's just at our farmers market in Natomas up the way. So that's Saturday. But then on Sunday is the fly market at a local brewery, whose name I won't say. But it's also in Natomas. And they have like vendors from the Bay and they have food, and Knox Barbecue's going to be there.
Okay, that's a different.
Knox Barbecue.
That's a whole nother.
So good. But the kids have been going like the last couple months. It's only once a month. And they think they've gone the last 2 months. And they always end up buying something really random and weird. So the fly market is going to be in Natomas on
Yeah,
Sunday.
the fly market.
It's, you so fly.
Like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like the Fly Girls.
Yes.
Do you know
I
who they
want a
are?
pair of
Do you remember
overalls.
who the Fly Girls were?
Yeah.
From where?
I want to say in living color.
Yes.
See?
Good job.
I want a pair of overalls, but I think I've missed the boat
Oh, that was another thing. I wanted the Yo MTV Raps jacket so bad.
at
We
Mopop.
went to Mopop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You don't wear jackets, so it's pointless.
I'd have worn that
No, you wouldn't.
in the summer.
No, you wouldn't.
No, but I mean, it looks so
You
cool.
would never wear it.
I
Anyway.
used to watch so much Ed Lover.
Okay.
Hmm
All right. Well, that's what's up in you.
He was the host. It was great. Back in the 80s.
I feel like we're doing good on time today. This is like our first one. We're not like 10 p.m.
Oh, well, it's because you keep cutting me off.
That's true. Next one.
I don't have anything. That's all I had was
No, we have
log
one
off.
more category.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Shout out! Woo! So I learned that
So you cut yourself off with
Yeah.
the sound of that. Was
I
great.
think I learned my woo from my brother.
Oh,
My sister-in-law was
Good
telling
call.
me that we woo the same, and I was like, I think I got my woo from him because I remember as a kid listening to him woo. Woo! It's for you guys.
and that's it.
That's all I got. That's my shout out. I'm just kidding. No, it's not. So I have two. I am really enjoying. Actually, it's just one big one. I'm really enjoying everyone who's on summer vacation and like traveling this summer and posting pictures and showing all the wonderful places they've been. It is so inspiring and it makes me like chill out to see people at the beach or on a plane or in their backyard just barbecuing and hanging out. Like I love seeing people enjoying summer because it is my favorite season. And thank you for posting the pictures. I really enjoy it.
And that's it.
That's it. That's my shout out. It's not specific.
I was like,
What's yours? What are you looking up? And we watched Extraction 2 yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it. Becca, you must watch Extraction 2. I'll text it to you. 'cause
watch.
in case you're already went to bed.
I might watch it again.
It's very bloody. It's very violent. But it was a decent movie. I liked it.
I'm trying to get. Hold on.
Becca, she's gonna let the dog out. The dog's being rude.
Who is?
Ginger. She's being mean to Lacey. She's tormenting her.
Yeah, but the tormenting her is
We have like 5 minutes. It's fine.
she's being lightly assertive.
No, she's not. You could hear her in there. Okay, what's your shout out?
I don't know. The camera's on you.
Oh, why? Hi guys.
I did that.
And tomorrow I think I'm gonna go do yoga in the park. If anybody wants to join me in Natomas, it's at 9 a.m. Park down the street. I'm gonna walk at 8:30.
That's a shout out.
It's a thing.
Oh.
I'm gonna do that. That's all. Your turn.
All right. So I'm going to go down the list. I think I mentioned everybody earlier. But I'm going to say Jenny, Brian, Bailey, Ryan, Ariel, Tony, Lucy, Hami, Ardonna, Randy. Almost
You
rhymed.
forgot one.
Who?
You forgot one special guest. Who'd you write down? What are you writing? Too long already.
Whatever I can.
I already know you. It's too long. You want me to tell you who
What?
it is?
Who?
You forgot Jack. You forgot Jack.
You don't know Jack.
What are you writing? And why?
Linya, Ellie.
Ah, see? And Jack. Jack
Yes.
was forced to hang out with us at Mopop with his grandparents.
This little dude.
He was like 9.
Took like a couple hours before he started opening up. And as soon as he did, I was like, I like this dude.
Yes.
Realistically, all I have to say is a huge shout out to all these human beings that, yes, we did take our time, to be up there, to go up to Seattle and everything, which is not as big of a deal for us as it is for some people to go do the same thing.
Yeah.
So mad respect for all those people to show up in real life to see us at different points and different times, multiple times, sometimes, all that
Yep.
stuff. So huge shout out to you guys, that whole list, and Sugar the goat,
Sugar the goat.
the corgi with the tail,
Me.
just
Oh, can I add one more rant? I know it's the end.
just thank you for all the people that actually, let's
Yeah.
do positive instead
Oh,
of rant.
wait, it's a good no.
Everybody that actually showed up to see us because we come through kind of like a whirlwind and a tidal wave sometimes.
We do.
And we don't, anytime that we come to visit and come through, there's no expectation for you to come see us. If you do, awesome. If not, we'll come back again.
Sure.
So just remember that. Okay. That's a big deal.
All right, I won't rant. I'll save it for next week.
What's the rant? Hit the rant.
Oh,
I mean, you're just writing the whole, like, well, I don't know why I even
me either.
do this because you just bounce
Sorry.
all over the place. There's no flow to this at
rental
all.
car companies. So,
right, let's go back.
Last one. It's not Sixt this time.
Goodness.
So when I scheduled the rental car for Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
if I booked it anytime before noon, for some reason it was $400 more. I find that
I mean,
odd.
that should have been in the same segment.
No, that was
'Cause it
different.
was-
Sixt
it
was own beast.
No, they're both rental cars, so it should have
Sixt
been.
was
They're
different.
very similar.
It's
It
not.
should have been.
It's not different.
Oh, right.
Anyways, okay, that's all I had.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't rent before noon.
And also, don't set up a whole production and order of operations or anything if you're working with
So
Sarah.
no, don't do it. I'm random and forgetful. So next week will not be Friday.
We're probably going to be here on either Thursday or
Thursday.
Saturday.
Yes.
But pay attention. The best way to do it is,
Socials.
subscribe,
Oh, that too.
ring the bell,
Yeah. And the
or
week after
follow
that,
us on stuff.
it has to be Thursday.
We don't know.
Ooh.
Just
It'll be skipped.
pay attention. Okay, we will be there. Like,
We can't the week after that.
okay, this is not the time to discuss this.
Why?
Because
It's the perfect
the
time.
calendar, half the time you can't see.
We can't do 6th through the 8th.
All right. Holy smokes! So we will see you very soon. We will see you next week. It might be a Thursday, might be a Saturday. Who knows? But we will be here.
Yes.
But until then, let's just make sure and get together with each other
And
in
show
real
up
life.
in real life. That's
Yeah,
right.
we got to do that.
Adios,
everyone.
muchachos.
Bye.